Hey, good morning. It's Dr. James. I do hope and pray this message finds you and your loved ones peaceful, thriving, and well. And I do believe this morning's message is perfect for the times that we're living in. You know, as we start to slowly but surely move back out in the world, I think a lot of us are going, oh my goodness, I'm not sure if I want to try to keep up with the pace that was happening just before the pandemic happened, just before things shut down. That pace wasn't working for me then, and I don't want to go back to it now. So one of the things I want to share, this is something I'm very, very mindful in my life. I tend to be a person who can get up in the morning and just want to go. I'm a momentum person, so I get up in the morning, I do all my different practices, and then once my 2 hours of my personal practice is done, the next 8, 12, 14 hours is just, I want to just go. I want to produce, I want to create, I want to do all these wonderful things with this one life that I have. In that experience, it's easy to get frenetic, it's easy to move too fast, it's easy not to be present. And I remember a time, my very first experience in India, where I got a chance to be in the audience when a group of people were questioning and interviewing the Dalai Lama. And he was asked about this idea of happiness. It was so beautiful. Someone asked him, this question was, when was the happiest time of your life? And they were probably looking to recall a time, maybe as a child, maybe some kind of meditation, some kind of spiritual something, when it was the happiest time of his life. And he looked at him, he had this long pause, and he giggled, which he does a lot of giggling when he's speaking. He said, you know what? Now, right now, is the happiest time of my life. And there was almost like a pushback from the interviewer, like, oh, come on, really, when was... Right now is the happiest time of my life. And there was a big smile and there was this collective like, and then he went on to say that mindfulness is simply clear, true awareness. That is the happiest time of all of our lives. And it only gets better the more clear we are, the more true we are, the more present we are. He went on to say that enlightenment for him happens under the influence of all kinds of experiences, all of which are part of being present for life. He says it's as good as being the one who's doing the dishes, as it is as washing floors, as it is in sitting in exquisite meditation. It's all the same practice. You know, he talked about this idea that this incremental improvement is all about the way that happiness continue to move forward in our lives. And I think as we look back just before the pandemic began and just before we shut down and before we went into that place where we didn't have any idea what we're going to do. But one of the things I've been thinking about a lot lately is looking at one of the things that came up that I'm most grateful for during this past year. And it's not something that I think a lot of us are really, really witnessing more and more these days as we're starting to think about how do we start getting moving again? How do we start catching up again? How do we do all the things that we used to be doing so we can find our new normal or the normal that we once had? You know, I don't want the normal I once had. There's only a few things I can pull from that are really, really things that I want. The same amount of love, but only getting better for my family, this community. These are the things I want more and more of that I had just before the pandemic. But during the pandemic, my gratitude for you, my gratitude for this community, my gratitude for the people that I love, my family, my wife, my daughters, all of those things became much, much deeper. I think my life slowed down enough where I was practicing a lot of what the Dalai Lama talked about, like enjoy being true while you're doing the dishes. When you're vacuuming, be fully present for it. Look for all the ways that you can improve incrementally on the way your floor looks. And it sounds a little silly, right? You're like, wait a second, is that going to be helpful right now? Well, I do believe that intention around everything that we do is always going to be helpful for the way that we can. As the Gandhi experience always talked to, he said, don't get confused with trying to keep up with life. There's more to life than increasing its speed. There's so much more to life than increasing its speed. And I think for you, and I do believe for me, that this experience of coming back out wants me to come out more respectfully, wants me to come out slowly, wants me to come out and not hop on the hedonic treadmill and start chasing things or believing the way the pace of life used to be is the way I want it to be once again. I want nothing to do with that pace of life. I want everyone to be able to come out. All of us. I want us to come out safely. I want us to come out with a level of reverence, respect. I want us to come out with a level of presence and openness to see one another. But I want us to see one another with fresh eyes. I want to see you with fresh eyes. I want you to see yourself with fresh eyes. And ask yourself that simple question: what are the things that I'm most grateful for about the pace of life during the lockdown, during the time when I couldn't do all that I wanted to do? But what did I learn about myself by not doing, by not running, by not going from one thing to the next? And how can I implement a different strategy, a practical way that I can move back into life as things are opening up, but not lose myself in that experience? His Holiness said it so true. Clear awareness, giving yourself the opportunity to have incremental movement towards the thing that brings you to your truth. Not perfection, incremental movement towards what brings you your truth. And he went on to finish that interview by saying, the space of grace always has space to occupy. It's our willingness to hold that space within ourselves that will allow us to occupy outside of ourselves. That is pure gold. And we have an opportunity today to be the witness, to call ourselves into a space that allows us to remember who it is that we love to be, and remember that is who we already are. So with that, much love, all blessings. Have a beautiful day. Bye for now.